I'm not Encho. I'm Souley. Souley Ballo.
Sometimes, I have to remind myself that on my worst day, I live like somebody on their greatest. Meek Mill.
Stupid!
6'9".
People do not differ in their desire to win. They differ in the price they are willing to pay to win.
Morning. My name is Souley Ballo, and I'm a 6'1" boarder from Harlem, New York. June of 2016. Just graduated from Parkland Mountain School about 2 weeks before. Decided about going to a new prep school, and most importantly, I just landed in Africa with my mom. Some of you know this fact about me. For those who do not, I'm a second-generation child. Both of my parents were born and raised in the Ivory Coast in West Africa. This is my second time visiting the Ivory Coast since I was about 8, so I kind of knew what it was like. But this second time around, looking back at it, it was truly one of the turning points in my life. Now, if I'm being honest, I hated my first 2 weeks in Africa. I wasn't fluent in the dialect, so talking was tough. There was no Wi-Fi, so I couldn't reach any of my friends back home. And I wasn't interested in meeting or talking to my family because I was shy and didn't know what they were thinking of me. But eventually, as I got to know and meet them, this is when things started to change. And this is when I learned about their lifestyle in the Ivory Coast. My parents grew up in a very poor part of the Ivory Coast. Food was something not everyone had access to, so people received rations and were often hungry. Blackouts were common, and in my 2 months there were some days where we didn't have access to electricity. For some kids, school was an option, as they would have to quit school in the middle school year to take care of their families. Medicine isn't as advanced as it is in the States, so if a child got sick with something even as curable as the flu, the chances were not in their favor. The crime rate is through the roof, and some kids go down the wrong path. The school system is extremely corrupt, so there are a ton of kids who graduate and can't go to college, so they end up either jobless or working for the rest of their lives. Sometimes the water will shut off, so my cousins and I will sometimes have to fetch water at the nearest stream, which is about a 30-minute walk away. My cousin, who is also named Souley Ballo, loves soccer and played for the local soccer team. Souley would wake up at about 5:30 a.m. and walk to practice almost every day. One time they had practice in the afternoon, and I wanted to go watch. See, when he told me that he walked to practice, I didn't know that this walk was about an hour. He did this walk all the time, and to him, walking an hour just to go to practice was normal. Their soccer field was just a large piece of pavement covered in sand and 2 busted up soccer balls with no net attached. I cannot imagine how someone could live in this environment. But by far the most inspirational part of the trip was the people in the Ivory Coast. Everywhere you looked, people had smiles on their faces no matter the problem. They make the best of their situation. It doesn't matter that they have to walk an hour to go to practice, or if they don't have Wi-Fi, or if the power is out, or sometimes there's not any running water. They find happiness through their hardships and laugh through the hard times. and that gratitude inspires me to do the same. After those first 2 weeks, those summer months in 2016 truly turned to 2 best months of my life. Next year, I can't wait to go back, and this time, I won't feel like an outsider. I look forward to seeing my family and meeting new people. Now, I'm not a big believer in self-promotion, but one thing I would like to say about myself is that I'm a hard worker. But I wasn't always this way. Prior to coming to Wesley my sophomore year, I never touched a weight. Playing lacrosse on my spare time seemed like a foreign idea to me, and I always tried to find the quickest way to the easy success. I was not known for my work ethic. However, I've come to believe that anyone is capable of working hard if you can find your why. When I say your why, I mean, why do you work hard? Why put in the hours? I find that if your answer is something bigger than yourself, then looking for motivation to put in the work shouldn't be hard to find. My why is my family back home in Africa. I know they do anything to me in my shoes right now, and in my eyes, it would be unfair to them if I didn't take full advantage of what I have here now at Wesley. So in August, when I came back home to New York, I made a promise to myself. I would not only focus on being the best I could be, I would also focus on being the hardest working person on the field. Whether it was in the weight room, in practice, or just watching film, it wouldn't be fair to my family if I didn't work hard. Now, the reality is that I'm human, and there are some periods of time where I have to admit I can be extremely lazy. Like, for example, the Halloween dance. As many of you may know, I went as Tiger Woods. But I needed a golf club. Instead of asking around, I forced a certain someone to drive back home and get me that club. I assured him that nothing would happen. He'd be fine. Next time, bro, ask for permission. I also go through times where I just love to do nothing and binge watch TV shows. I've literally seen almost every TV show. From The Fresh Prince of Ballo to Gossip Girl to Martin to Pretty Little Liars to Family Guy to even SpongeBob. But as I was saying, I tend to be lazy. But then I have to remind myself, there's no Souley Ballo across the world who wishes he could have the opportunity that I have right now, who dreams of coming to America every single day. Here at Wesley, we are fortunate to be in a school like this. We sometimes forget that not everyone lives the prep school lifestyle that we do. And so I leave you with these 3 pieces of advice that have helped me along the way. 1, find whatever you're passionate about and be the hardest working person at that skill. Whether it's a certain sport, academics, or a certain activity. If you want to become better, put the work in, and results will follow. 2, focus on your own journey. Everyone is different in many different ways. So it might work for someone, may not work for you. 7 years ago, on a concrete playground in Harlem, I picked up a lacrosse stick. And I knew right away I loved the sport and wanted to keep playing for as long as I could. Right away, friends and even coaches told me I was way too short to ever play college lacrosse. But remember, everyone has an opinion, and it's up to you if you listen or not. I worked hard, I refused to listen to the doubters, and I'm fortunate enough to be able to say I'll be playing college lacrosse for the next 4 years. And last, but not least, find your why. Even though I only picked up Ballo crossing 7 years ago, my trip to Africa in 2016 made me realize to not take things for granted, and inspired me to finally put the work in for something I'm passionate about. Find your why, and the world is yours. Thank you.